So, welcome to the video. Now, a lot of people will say that this is the most important, or it was the most important video regarding how to get out of your timeshare that they've ever watched. Whether that's true or not, I really don't know. I'll leave it up to you to decide. In any event, I'm going to share some information here that likely you haven't heard, and more so than not, will shed some light as to what you can do to get out of a timeshare. With all full disclosure, yes, we do offer a service here. So yes, I do have an ulterior motive, and that is to over deliver information in this video, so that if you're looking to get out of your timeshare, you'll contact us. But in any event, you certainly don't have to do that. You can just use the info in the video, and either way, we're not even going to know that you were here watching the video. So it really makes no difference. But like I said, if you're trying to get out of your timeshare, whether it is or isn't the most important video you watched, I know that the information will be something that you can definitely utilize. My name is Jason from freefromvacationfees.com. Let's get rolling. So, generally, when I talk to people on the phone, okay, generally those people are in one of three places with their timeshare, or they have tried one of three things. And typically there's an order to it. And I am shooting this on my iPad, so just bear with me if it's a little bit slow. But I'm just doing a very simple screen capture video here on my iPad. So generally the process goes like this. Dissatisfied owner, who doesn't want to pay maintenance fees. Again, it's always coming back to maintenance fees. They don't want to keep paying maintenance fees, okay? And so they'll go on Google, they'll do some research. Well, what are we going to do to get out of this timeshare so we can stop paying maintenance fees? And the first thing they're going to try to do is, let me draw a nice arrow here. The first thing they'll try to do is likely they're going to try something along the lines of contacting their timeshare company, and autocorrect should get that for me. So they're going to go from dissatisfied. The first thing they're going to do is try contacting their timeshare company. And in the process of contacting their timeshare company, okay, so let me go down here, and hopefully you can follow along. So I'm going to get some key points that most people are not going to ever hear about contacting their timeshare company. Okay? So what they're going to find in this process is they're going to contact them, and one of two things are going to happen. They're either going to get ignored, or more than likely what's going to happen is their company's going to say, well, we cannot help you. We cannot help you, basically, is what they're going to say. Now, it's not typically going to be that polite. They're going to say something else like even if you contact them and you tell them, well, we can't afford to keep paying this anymore, or yada yada, it's going to come down to something along the lines of, well, it's not our problem. You signed the contract. If you want to get out, try to sell it or do something else. But in any event, you're in this contract, so you need to keep paying your fees. And the problem is, you're not going to hear this online. A lot of people make it seem like it's easy, and I encourage you to try it. I'm sure you've already tried it. The vast majority of people I speak with have already tried contacting their timeshare company, and they're just not going to get anywhere with that. On rare cases, your timeshare company sometimes will take a timeshare back, okay, and I'm not going to mention any company names here, but some are better than others. But again, that is very, very few companies are going to do it. What you're typically going to see, and here is a key point, let me star that, because what you're typically going to see is that your timeshare company is going to try to upsell you, okay? In any event, Either they're going to ignore you or say they can't help you get rid of your timeshare. But what they're going to do is say, hey, we have a better deal for you, something you might like better. And they're going to try to upsell you into another timeshare. Now, there are several ways they do this. And people say, well, I'll never fall for that. Well, probably about 15% of the people I talk to who've tried to get out have actually fell for that, and they've been upsold in the process of trying to get out of their timeshares. Okay, and the way they tell them this is, oh well, we can make this cheaper for you, or we can allow you to vacation in different places. That's a common line. Or we're going to give you a way better deal, or we'll give you a 60-day trial, or I've even seen 2-year trials. Just try it, and you can, if you don't like it, you can give it back. Well, when they upsell you, typically what happens is they go about doing it in a sneaky way of somewhere attaching, and let me scroll on here, another deed to your pre-existing deed. Okay, so now you have 2 timeshare deeds, and typically you're paying a maintenance fee on the first one. And generally people have paid off the mortgage on that first deed, at least if they owned it, 5, 10, 15, 20 years. They paid the deed, but now they got another deed that they have a mortgage on. Okay, and what ends up happening is they wind up paying a maintenance fee on that as well. Now you're saying, well, that would never happen to me. Well, it happens all the time, and it's a common scenario. Again, people get dissatisfied. You have a dissatisfied owner, okay, and then you come over here to contacting their timeshare company, and their timeshare company wants you to contact them because they're going to try to upsell you, okay? They're going to ignore you. They're going to say, we can't help you, but in the long run, they're going to try to upsell you into a, quote, better package, and that's what you're going to get with that. Now, let me scroll back up here, and hopefully you can follow along. I realize I don't have my highlighter pen here, but in any event, the second thing I should say that people try to do is they are going to try, okay, to sell their timeshare. Okay, they're going to try to sell it. All right, and that is the second path that people generally take. And if you've talked to me, generally I would say probably 70%. It's probably even 75% of the people, if I went back and looked at the stats on it, have tried to sell, okay? Sell the timeshare. Let me make sure I spell that right. Okay. And if they've tried to sell, all right, then a good percentage of them have paid a company to list it, okay, only to find out that they just wasted money. I mean, less than 1%. In fact, I'm going to write this down. Less than 1. Oh, let's use a percentage sign. Less than 1% of timeshares. 1% of timeshares actually resell. That means an owner who has purchased that timeshare, if they come back to sell it again, that would be a resale. Less than 1% of those actually resell. So to break that down, it's actually, the stats, in my opinion, are actually far less promising than that. It's 1% would be one out of 100, but it's probably more like 1 out of 200 or even less. Long story short, it is virtually impossible to sell these things, okay, to resell them. And a lot of the owners have tried. They have paid a listing company. An average listing fee would be somewhere along the lines of $1,000 to $2,000. $1,500 is common, but you even get pop-up companies listing them for $500. Again, there is no guarantee. Okay, they make it sound like they will sell your timeshare, but they won't because they don't resell. These things don't resell. Again, think about it logically. Nobody wants your maintenance fee. Everybody wants a maintenance fee. All right, these days, I don't know why that came up, but nobody, let me rewrite it. Nobody wants a maintenance fee. And those average maintenance fees are $1,200. Okay? Now, yours might be less. A lot of people I talk to, between $500 and $600, but a lot of people I talk to are 15, and 12 is very common. So, I'm sure you fall somewhere in that ballpark. Nobody wants to pick that up. The reason is that I can go online to Travelocity or any other online quote booking agency, and I can book a vacation anywhere I want to go, typically for far less than what I'm going to pay when you factor in a maintenance fee plus the fact of flights and everything else. Typically, it's going to wind up being the same price, but I don't have a maintenance fee attached to it, and I can go anywhere I want. So it just makes more sense to vacation that way. Now, again, less than 1% of timeshares resell. Let me go right back here just to show you one stat. One thing that most people don't find when they type in how to get out of a timeshare is what they don't see. They come to Google, but they don't find eBay. Okay? And if you're going to try to list your timeshare, you should never pay somebody to list it. What you should do is just come to eBay and list it for free. But again, it won't sell. The vast majority never sell, okay? In fact, if I come here and I type in timeshares for sale on eBay, eBay is the #1 timeshare listing site on the internet around. I can come here and essentially, so what people do, and their timeshares will sit for months and years and several years, and the average I probably see is several years of people trying to get out of these things. Okay, so, well, let me go here and go timeshares for sale up here. It's being some difficult. So we'll type in timeshare for sale. Okay, so now we come up to the page, and you see I'll scroll through, and some people are unrealistic. They're trying to sell theirs for thousands of dollars, but other listers come here and they try to open the bid up at $1, or there's $107, or there's a $25 bid, there's $1. Basically, they're just trying to get people to take these timeshares over for $1, and yet they sit for months on end. Again, when somebody takes over your timeshare, they're not really taking it over for $1. They're taking it over for your maintenance fee plus being stuck in that contract. Okay, so long story short, even if you list it for free on eBay, you're not going to get rid of it. Again, less than 1% resell. It's actually far less than that, in my opinion. And so most people I've talked to have tried all this. They've even paid listing companies, and it doesn't work. I won't go through all these. There's hundreds of pages here and thousands of timeshares. I'll let you check it out for yourself. In any event, it doesn't work. We'll let the docs come back up here so I can reintroduce. Okay, 1 second. Here it comes. Okay, I don't know why that closed up, but that's technology. Okay, so the third thing that people are going to try to do is they are going to call around and do research, and that is typically when they'll get to me. They'll call us, okay? And they'll try to do a transfer, all right? And I'm not going to say that's where they should have started, but long story short, it's probably where they should have started, because they're going to save themselves several years in maintenance fees, typically. If your average maintenance fee is $1,000 or $1,200, you're looking at between $2,000 to $2,400 for the next 2 years just to float your timeshare. Then if you paid to list it, well, now you're going to tack on another about $1,500, $1,015. So somewhere along the lines, you got between $3,000 to $4,000 in trying to sell this thing, okay? When you could have come right away to a transfer, and it will wind up being cheaper. Again, by the time people get to me and I talk to them on the phone, they have, if you factor in a couple years of maintenance fees, and typically it's 2 to 3 years, so you're looking at, okay, you're looking between $200 or 2,000, excuse me, because an average maintenance fee you're looking between $1,000 to $1,200. So you're looking at somewhere between 2,000 to somewhere along the lines of $3,000 in maintenance fees. And again, that's just a two-year projection. All right, that's just a 2-year projection there. Okay, if it's 3 years, you're looking at 3,000, typically to 38 to 4,000 in maintenance fees. So it's somewhere in that range between 2 to 3 year projection of trying to sell it. Plus, they've paid a listing company, somewhere around 1,000, okay, to $1,500, okay. Again, forgive me, technology. To $1,500 to list it, and it still hasn't resold. So do the math. You got anywhere from $3,000 to $4,500 in simply trying to sell it over the course of a couple years. Okay, and you're still stuck with it, meaning you're still in the maintenance fees, and they're accumulating. Okay, and then they'll call me and they've gone through all this and nothing works, and typically they spent a lot of money and they just want out. So what a transfer is, all you're really trying to do, and let me get to the nuts and bolts, when you're trying to get out of your timeshare, all you're really trying to do is simply transfer your name off the deed. That's it. Okay, you're trying to transfer your name off the deed. In order to do that, people will try to sell or go through any various numbers of doing it, but simply contacting a transfer company, okay, who deals in these transfers, and they have avenues in order to transfer your name off. And when your name is transferred off, you actually get signed indicators, signed documents saying, hey, it's like selling a house. Signed documents saying, hey, ownership has been transferred, so you're away, and you're away from the maintenance fees, and your timeshare, can no longer come up and bite you in the butt, and you basically can let out a sigh of relief. All right, and that's what a transfer company does. Now, as far as time frame, there are some common scams with transfer. Okay, some companies will claim, well, we'll get you out in 30 to 60 days. And I'm going to tell you right now, that is typically a scam. Generally speaking, on a straightforward transfer, the average are running anywhere from 8 to 12 months. Okay, they can take a little longer, they can take a little less. There's nothing set in stone, but generally it's 8 to 12 months before you're completely out of your timeshare, before your name is transferred off the deed. Okay, because it's a process. And I've seen more people scammed by transfer companies who promise, yes, give us money, we'll have you out in 30 to 60 days, because people are desperate to get out. Don't fall for it. It's generally 8 to 12 months. It can take a little longer. Now, the other scam is companies will say, well, you don't have to keep paying your maintenance fees. Again, that is a scam. Okay? That's a 30 to 60 day scam I just hit on, and generally it's 8 to 12 months. And then there's a scam of you don't have to keep paying maintenance fees. Well, that's a scam unless you just don't care about your credit, because you know as well as I do, you've done your research, if you stop paying maintenance fees, generally speaking, most timeshare companies are going to ding your credit and mess up your credit. Now, if you don't care about your credit, that's up to you, but I'm not an attorney. This is not legal advice. If I'm in that position, I'm going to pay mine just because I care about my credit. Okay? So companies say, well, you'll be out in 30, 60 days and you don't have to keep paying your maintenance fees. That's total bullshit, excuse my language. You should always keep paying maintenance fees. Again, bear with the technology. maintenance fees. Again, you want to keep paying them. So, generally speaking, a reputable company is going to say, and it's what we do here, it's going to take 8 to 12 months. If your maintenance fees come up in January or June, you're going to pay it. Okay? You're going to pay it. So you're going to have to keep paying that. And in that process, you'll go through continuing to get out of your timeshare. Okay? Until the process is complete, where you receive the documents, and it indicates you're out of your timeshare. And lastly, a common scam that you're going to get in the maintenance fee is well, we guarantee that you'll get out. And you're going to get this a lot in this industry. No company can guarantee that you're going to get out. Okay, there's all sorts of varying factors involved in your situation. So no company can say, yeah, we guarantee you're going to get out after 8 months. That's not going to happen. What you need to be looking for is something where if you don't get out, you're going to get a refund of your money. Okay, so and that's what we do here at Free From Vacation Fees. Okay, so that got long-winded. I just want to go up to the top. So that's generally what people are going to go through. You're going to be a dissatisfied owner. You're going to get these maintenance fee bills. You're going to want to stop paying because you don't use your timeshare anymore. You've been screwed over. It's not a good destination. You're just not happy. You can't vacation when you want to, and you just want out. You're going to go through contacting your timeshare company. Generally speaking, your timeshare company doesn't care. They want you to. They're going to get ignored, especially if you keep bothering them. But on some of the big ones, on the vast majority of big ones, you're gonna get told, well, we can't help you get out, but what we can do is we can get you into something better. And they'll upsell you, and a lot of times people get stuck with a second deed, and they really make their life miserable. Okay. After a timeshare company, people are going to try to sell their timeshare. Again, most people that I speak to have paid $1,000 to $1,500 to try to list it. Less than 1% of timeshares resell. No listing company is going to be able to sell it, but they say they can, and so they scam you out of money. And so you got about a 1 in 100 to 1 in 200 chance. It's virtually impossible to resell. We went through that because nobody wants maintenance fees, which are averaging about $1,200. Okay, and so lastly, what people do is they figure out this thing called transfer, what we deal with here. Okay, and by the time I speak with people, more often than not, they spent $2,000 to $3,000 over the course of 2 years in maintenance fees. They've tried to list it and they've paid $1,000 to $1,500, so they got about $3,000 to $4,500 in just trying to sell it. Again, that can go up. A lot of people, it's very common, people have $5,000 if they factor in maintenance fees, okay, just in the process of trying to get out, whereas if they had to come to me 3 to 4 years ago, they wouldn't have that. Before they get to me, all that you're trying to do is to transfer your name off the deed. Don't ever believe anybody that tell you they can do it in 30 to 60 days. They're not going to be able to do it. Generally, it's an 8 to 12 month process. Don't believe any company that says you don't have to keep paying your maintenance fees. Again, you're going to ruin your credit if you don't do that in the vast majority of instances. I'm not an attorney. Don't take this as legal advice. I'm just filling you in on things that I've learned. So over that 8 to 12 months, again, it can take longer. You're going to want to keep paying your maintenance fees. But in the end, okay, you're going to get documents saying you're out of your timeshare. And no company can guarantee that they're going to get you out. They can't do it. No listing company can guarantee they're going to sell it. They can't do it. What you should be looking for is if you don't get out, you should be looking for you're going to get your money back. Again, okay, that's generally how it goes. Now, people will go online, they'll read all sorts of reviews, they'll go through all sorts of information. Quite frankly and bluntly, the problem with the internet is that it's full of free information, which means anybody can post anything, okay? And information is only as valuable as the person giving it. And most people don't know what they're doing in this industry, so they give bad information. And you know as well as I do, bad information is actually worse and more costly than no information. And so, in the course of your research, when you're seeing testimonials or you're seeing videos or you're seeing anything, just realize, okay, that a lot of these people don't know what they're talking about. A lot of them are paid by timeshare companies to leave false testimony and things like that. So you really got to be cautious, and you got to understand that if it sounds too good to be true, it probably is. So again, like I said in the beginning of this video, yes, I have a vested interest in creating this. Hopefully you found this to be one of the most valuable videos. Again, I've heard that before from people I speak to, but again, whether that's true or not, I really don't know. I'll leave it up to you. So yes, I do have a vested interest. If you see below this video, see a contact form. Again, we deal in transfer. Okay. Now, one thing I want to bring up is if you owe money on your timeshare, we can still help you. Okay, at least in most cases. We can't help everybody, but in many cases, we can still help you even if you owe money on that deed. Okay, on that mortgage deed that you have. And some people owe two deeds. Some people have one deed paid off and they owe money on a second deed. In any event, we can help you whether you owe money or whether you don't owe money. And so the vested interest is I would like you to fill out the form below. If you're interested in getting out of your timeshare, what we're going to do is call you back at the time you specified. Okay, we are not salesmen. You've heard a lot of what we do here, especially in the transfer section I talked about. In no way, shape, or form are you going to make money using this. Again, we do not deal in listing timeshares or timeshare sales. Okay, so you're not going to make money. What you're going to do is pay money to get out of your timeshare. And if you go back to look at those 2 to 3 year projections, that $3,000 to $4,500 in projections, almost always it ends up being cheaper, okay, than that for people if they would just come to get out of their timeshare using our transfer method right away. And again, it's backed by a money refund. So fill out the form below. Once again, my name is Jason from freefromvacationfees.com. We will get back to you at the time you specified. We are not pushy salesmen, but we do ask that if you're going to contact us, that you are seriously looking to get out of your timeshare. Okay? We deal with a lot of people. We just want to make sure you're seriously looking to get out, so we don't waste your time and you're not wasting our time as well. So again, if you're watching this on YouTube, please like the video, and then you can visit us at freefromvacationfees.com. And you can fill out the form below, watch the video on that site, and we will get back to you. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. Have yourself a great, great day, and I wish you all the best in getting out of your timeshare.